Hey guys, welcome to video number 6 in this course, Fire Your Graphic Designer. This one's entitled Designing Ebook Graphics in Photoshop. See, now we're going to be getting our hands dirty, right? So we've gotten all the theoretical stuff out of the way. I taught you why, graphic design is important and how it's going to put more money in your pocket by releasing higher quality stuff on your, to represent your products. Your graphics are basically an ad for the quality of your products. That's what they are. We learned about the elements of design. So I broke up the design process into different elements. And again, like I said, the power of your design comes from how you get those different elements to work together. I showed you how to find inspiration online and how important inspiration is, and we also learned some brief stuff about fonts and colors as well. So in this one, we're going to be getting our hands dirty and we're going to be popping into Photoshop. I have a very simple 5-step design process that I use. And so I broke this down into 5 steps. This will ensure that you guys don't get confused, and when you have a launch coming up or you want to design graphics for your website or a PowerPoint presentation for a video recording or screencast that you're doing, you know exactly where to start, you know exactly where to end. You're not going to be running around in circles or any of that stuff. So this is my very simple 5-step design process, right? Oh, by the way, this is the ebook we're going to be designing in Photoshop and PowerPoint. I entitled it. I like to name everything I do. It just gives it a theme. So this one's called the affiliate. Towards like affiliate marketers. That's why we have the money in the background there, right? If there's one thing affiliates like, it's money, right? This is the 5-step design process. The step number 1, we're going to be finding inspiration using the sites that we went over in the previous videos. Step number 2, we're going to be coming up with our colors and type, right? Like I said before, color and type, font, all that stuff do most of the heavy lifting when it comes to designing graphics. Number 3, we're going to lay down the framework of our design. We're going to be putting down the basic shapes, right? And number 4, we're going to be adding in our secondary elements. So patterns, textures, all that other stuff we learned about, we're going to be throwing those in there to add just a little extra to our designs. And step number 5, we're going to be making revisions to make sure everything's aligned perfectly and everything is the right size and everything fits together perfectly. So let's take a look at the colors we're going to be using. Not a ton of colors, and again, the 2 main colors is the green and the blue, but we also have like white and gray and all that other stuff, so I threw them in there as well. So these are the colors we're going to be using, and these are the secondary elements we're going to be using. So we have the paper texture on the left right here. That's a paper texture, and we're going to be using the money pattern right here, right? So again, I want to break down every single thing we do so you guys can recreate this for yourself. Because here's the thing. Also, you're going to have access to these files. So, teach a man to fish, right? How about I teach you how to fish and I give you the fish, give you some fish as well. So you're going to have access to these files, but I obviously want to show you how to recreate this for yourself. But again, you can very easily just come in here. All you got to do is change the text in this, and you're ready to go. And you can use this to sell your products. The background as well, you can turn the background off, so all you'll have is the book, and you can start working with these graphics. So let's pop into Photoshop right now. By the way, Photoshop it's made for graphic design. So if you ask me the question, do I like Photoshop over PowerPoint? Yes, Photoshop is a graphic design program. PowerPoint is a presentation software that you're forcing almost to act like Photoshop. So the results won't exactly be the same. So Photoshop, however, you do have to pay for it. I pay, well, I have the entire suite, so I pay $50 a month. You don't have to pay $50 a month. Like I said, I'm a graphic designer, so there's other software that I use from Adobe, like Illustrator, After Effects, and all that other stuff. Photoshop by itself, however, is $10 a month. If you can currently spare and by the way, you also get a 30-day free trial. Also get a 30-day free trial, and then after that, I think last I checked, it was $10 a month. If you can spare that $10 a month, 2 days worth of coffee on Photoshop, please do it. It'll make your world a lot easier. You don't have to deal with PowerPoint crashing. You don't have to deal with PowerPoint freezing and all this other annoying stuff that I had to go through while I was filming this course for you guys, right? So Photoshop is awesome. For the record, $10 a month. If you do have that kind of money, to spare, definitely invest in Photoshop. In any case, let's get started. So like I said before, Let's turn these other things off here. Let's close this, and I'll close that. Let's turn the background back on. Boom. Like I said before, this is what we're going to be designing in Photoshop. Now what you're looking at is an e-cover, right? It's a cover of an ebook. This kind of template in Photoshop is known as a product mock-up, right? So if I turn off the cover, this is all this is. Like it's a you know, underneath this picture is a book design with a drop shadow, right? There's a shadow, there's all kinds of stuff going on to give it that design. So you see I just turn off the shadow, and I'll turn it back on. Again, these are effects, right? Secondary elements of design. Shadow. See how much depth that creates? This just looks like a flat thing. Now I turn this on, right? Now I turn the shadow on. Now you can tell it's raising above the surface. And that's the power of these secondary elements, right? So all this is somebody took a picture of a real book and they translated it into Photoshop so that you can put, you know, your image on it, right? And it's called it's called a product mockup. And I can show you there are tons of these for all different kinds of stuff. And all you have to do is come into Google, Photoshop. Let's do book mockup. Free book mockup. Let's just wait for this to load here. And again, all I'm doing, I like to go very in depth when I show you how to do stuff. You don't need to go this in depth with your design. You might just be an internet marketer who wants to release a product, but I do like to explain stuff. Just in case you guys want to take this a step further and learn a bit more about design. So what this is a mock-up, right? Somebody took a picture of a real book and they digitized it so that you can edit the pages and make it look like a real book, right? So this is a, you know, maybe they were in a studio or something, they did a photo shoot, took some real pictures of a real live book, and they made it editable in Photoshop. So that's what we're working with today, this mock-up. Now these mock-ups are very easy to edit. So for this one, for example, and again, you will have access to these files. You don't need to go looking for other mock-ups. This one is fine. So all I'm doing is double-clicking where it says mock-up here. I'm double-clicking this. That's how I get inside of the design. So let's check it out. I'll double-click this right here. Now I'm inside of the design, and this is the design of my book. So if I turn off one of these elements here, let's say I turn off, you know, 1 second. My computer is being weird. My screen just went black. 1 sec. Okay, guys, sorry about that. My computer was being weird. So, like I was saying, if I come in here and I turn off one of these elements here, let's just turn off something random. And to turn off the visibility, all I'm doing is clicking this little eyeball symbol here. Let's turn off the main part. Let's turn off the subtitle as well, right? What I'm going to do now is click Save, and I'm going to do that. And I use a lot of shortcuts in Photoshop because it just makes everything way faster. But the long way to do this would be to go up to File, Save, right? The reason I'm saving this is so it could show up here. See, this hasn't updated yet, but I've edited this. So I want this to reflect this. So I'm going to save it. And again, you can either save by going to File, Save, and it shows you the shortcut right here. So we'll use the shortcut. And that shortcut is Control S on my keyboard. If you look at here, it's going to show you that it's saving, or you can also look at the bottom here. So look at the bottom here right now. I'll click Control S, saving. Boom. Now it's pretty fast. Now if you go back to our other window here, see it updated, and that's basically all there is to editing this mock-up. We don't have to create, you know, the book background by ourselves. We don't have to add in the shadow. Somebody already did that for us. Now, could we do that? Of course, it's super easy to do this, but using mock-ups, it's way faster. So that's what we're going to be doing, and it's literally that easy. And again, if I close this, I got in the other window by clicking this mock-up thing here. So this is exactly what you're going to be doing. And let me just show you how easy it's going to be for you using this Photoshop template here. So I'll double-click this mock-up. Let's turn everything back on. And again, I'm clicking the eyeball icon here to turn everything back on. All you're going to be doing is editing the text. Let's say your product is called You know, super affiliate 3000, super cheesy, right? I'm selecting the text tool, right? So text tool, shortcut T for text. I'll press that on my keyboard right now. I want you to look at this T right here. It's gonna become darker. Look, boom, text tool selected, right? Or I can also just come over here and then select it and click it myself. All you're gonna be doing is scrolling over this text where it says the affiliate. I'm gonna double click it to select all. Then what's your product name? It's called Super. I'll press enter to start a new line. Affiliate 3000. Now, if you notice, the 3000 isn't displaying. If you look at this box here, that's because it's not long enough. So I'll literally just grab this and drag it down. Boom, right? Super affiliate 3000. I'll press again, save. We go back to our window here. Boom, updated. Super easy. That's all you're going to be doing if that's all you want to do. But I'm also going to show you how I built this template from scratch. Right. So I just wanted to show you. I wanted to let you know about the mockups. So that's what this is called. It's a product mockup of a book, and we're going to be editing the cover basically. Right. Okay. Cool. So let's say I'm taking it from scratch. Right. I have an idea in my head. I want to create a product called the affiliate. I'm launching a product called the affiliate on how you can create your highest quality information product in half the time, right? Okay, what are some things? So now we're at step number 1, right? Remember our 5 steps? We're finding inspiration. First place I find inspiration, like I said before, is either my inspiration folder or my brain, okay? Now, obviously, I already designed this thing, and I can't remember where I got the inspiration from. I think I was just messing around in Photoshop, and that's how I came up with the design. But this is what I would do. So I come over to Behance, that website we checked out earlier. Actually, I might end up using this in some kind of design. I really like this. That's why I still have the tab open here. I like the colors. I'll open a new tab. Come over to my search bar, and I'll put in... Okay, so I'm just putting in keywords. So I might put in green, right? Affiliate, money is green. So that's one keyword I have associated with affiliate, money. Right? I come in here and I type in money, or I type in green, and I just look around for some ideas. I'm looking for everything. I'm looking for ideas on fonts. 1 second, I'll be right with you. Okay, apologies. So like I was saying, I come in here, I type in a keyword like money. I might do something like green. I'm just looking for inspiration. Now, keep in mind, I'm like I said before, I'm looking for everything. I'm looking for inspiration on type, on fonts. I'm looking for inspiration on different shapes. I'm looking for inspiration on patterns, different elements of design. What are some elements people are using here? So I'm also going to come in here and try to see, different ways I can design my ebook cover, right? So what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll sort it by editorial. Editorial just means like book stuff, newspapers, and that kind of stuff. And I might just remove money in general. I want the broadest thing ever, right? So right here, this is one way I can design a book. Just by the design, just the little box here with the background. I might use that, and that's what I do. I come in here and I look for design. I look for inspiration. Sorry, and I might do this for like 30 minutes. Okay, but I already decided on what I'm doing because I designed it already, so I know what I'm going to be doing. But this is what I do. This might be a little too experimental for some people, but this might be a design I can, maybe make this work somehow. This is another kind of design I maybe wouldn't have thought of. I'm looking for ways to outline my book, and so that's step number 1. So find inspiration. Step number 2, I'm going to be determining colors and type. Now, the name of our fictional product here is the affiliate. So, affiliate, like I said before, money. I'm going to be using a green for sure. I'm going to be using maybe a blue, and that's what I did, right? So how did I find the color? I just started playing around with different colors. What I like to do is I'll come in here, and again, this is while I'm using Behance. This is while I'm using Dribble. I might come in Dribble and type in green, right? To get ideas for colors. So, okay, boom. Spotify, right? I might be a fan of this green. How do I grab this color? I have a plugin on my in my Chrome browser called this one's called Colorzilla. So you can just go to Google and just type in Colorzilla for Chrome, and it's going to give you the plugin, and you can just install this on your computer. What it's going to do is it's going to allow you to copy the hex code of this color. So let me show you. I'll click this thing here, and I'll click Color Picker. Right? Is it Color Picker? Pick color from page. Sorry. Pick color from page. Boom. See the color right here? It's copied to the clipboard already. It should be copied. Sometimes this doesn't work. But so let me show you what I mean. If I come in here and I open up a brand new document, just unlock my background, and it's right in here. So what I did was, you might not have seen that change, but these are two different greens here. Copy. So it's already copied from Colorzilla. It copies it to the clipboard automatically. I come in here, and I just want to show you, the color in Photoshop, and I'll just click paste. Right. So this is what I might have done, but I already have my green here. So that's how I determine the colors. Right. I play around, look at different stuff. Hey, this blue looks like it might go with that green. Blah blah blah. That's how I'd find my colors. This is another kind of green right here. So I'd open up this picture, pick color from page, go down here. As you can see right up here, it updates as I scroll over different parts. Right? I might like whatever this color is. It's like a beige, off-white, I don't know, like a limey color. I like this color. This color might go really well with this green. As I'm seeing from this picture, it goes really well with this green. This is another green I might use. I think it's the same, or maybe this one's a little darker. In any case, I come over here, copy. I just click it, copies automatically. And, I'll paste. That's the off-white lime color that we were looking at before. Might duplicate this. All right. We haven't started designing our book yet, by the way. I'm just showing you how to pick colors. Drag this down. So I'll come back in here again, click this again, select one of these greens. Let's do this green. Copy to clipboard. Come back into Photoshop. Paste. The bottom part is going to turn green. All right. Boom. Now we're getting colors to work together. Right. So that's where I'd find my colors from. I'd go to Behance, I'd go to Dribble. Obviously I have an idea in my head of what I want the product cover to look like. So now I pick my colors, right? And these are my colors here. And so we can begin working with this design here. What I'll actually do is I'll copy this. And also this is everything. I organized it so you can clearly read like what everything pertains to. So this is for the main title, this is for the subtitle. I really tried to make this as easy and as editable as possible for you guys. This is for the byline, and this is for like the main section there. So I'll come in here and let's do ebook cover, Photoshop. I'll copy it, and we'll start from scratch. Paste it. I'll open this one up. Okay. Let me rename this so I don't get confused. Affiliate book cover. Okay, right? So again, double click this. Now I'm inside, right? Now we're going to start designing stuff here. I'll just grab all this and just make it invisible. Let's group it, invisible, boom. All right, first things first. We found our inspiration. Well, second things second, right? We did our colors, right? Now type. And again, I'm just laying down different things here for me to get moving in a certain direction. This doesn't have to necessarily be the final way our design looks. I might change the font in the revision stage, right? I might do that, but for now, you know, I need to be laying stuff down for me to get a general idea of how my design is going to work in the end, right? So we have our colors, and we've got our let's outline our type as well. Since this is an affiliate marketing product, I want a very like modern kind of feel to it. I don't need anything fancy. This is just affiliate marketing. I don't need, you know, any serif fonts at the moment. So I'll just start with one of my favorites that we spoke about in the previous video, Montserrat, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right now. All right. 1 second here. Open up a new tab. And this is my background. This is going to be my background. I want to fill this with a certain color. Actually, I'll show you another way to do your background. What we'll do is use a shape. All right. So we'll click this. We'll click the rectangle, and we'll click this here. Drag it out. 1 second here. Control. Boom. Right? So I'll do that again. Background. I'll select U on my keyboard. I'll click this. Select the rectangle tool. I'll hold down on my left mouse button as I'm hovering over the top left corner of the canvas. I'll drag down to the bottom right. All I want to do now is make sure it's perfectly aligned with the canvas. I have the smart guides on. So if you see show smart guides with the check next to it, smart guides are these purple things that are about to pop up here. So let's take a look. As I'm dragging this, smart guides are popping in to show me that, okay, you're at the very edge of the canvas. Right? Next thing I'll do is I'll change this background to my base color. And this is the color we chose, so I'll just grab it from here. No, I want this one. Actually, no, it's in here. I just made it invisible. Forgive me. In here, I'll just copy this. And again, you wouldn't be doing this. You would be pasting it in from Colorzilla, from whatever web page you took it from, right? But I'm copying it since I have all my colors and stuff outlined already. All right. I'll come in here, and there are multiple ways to change the color of this rectangle. One of the easiest ways, and easiest for you, is going to be to add a color overlay. So I'm going to double click this. Now I'm not double clicking on the text. Double clicking on the text is going to open up the rename feature. So if I double click on the text, I could rename this. I could rename this to background. But I don't want to double click on the text. I want to double click on any of the gray area on this layer, right? Double click over here. That opens up the blending layer styles. You can also do right click, blending options. All right, so again, right click on the background layer, blending options. I want to change the color of this. I'll click color overlay. Then I'll click the actual thing. I'll come in here. I'll click this. Then I'll paste in the color I just copied. So you see how that changed from the green? Right? So that's our background. Okay? So now we're starting to outline stuff, but we still need to come up with our font. And we selected, I'm going to just start off with Montserrat. I'll just put in, you know, the affiliate. This is a very chunky text. I might play around with the size, the thinness of it. Montserrat comes in different sizes. So if you look up here, where it says extra bold right now, I can click this. I can do extra light, super thin. I can do bold, right? Or I can go really bold with extra bold, right? Now, this you might think to yourself, well, these letters are a little too close together. What we can do is come up here to Window, Character. I'm going to come up here to the letter spacing, and I'm going to hold down my left mouse button and drag to the right. See how these spread out a little bit? I don't want them to spread out too much, just a tad. Let's try 40. You can type in here in this box, but you can also drag as well. See? I'll do 40 just to space these out. And again, at this point, I don't want you guys freaking out about not remembering the stuff. All of these files are available to you. All you have to do is edit the text, but I do want to show you how to edit these yourself, so you have the skill, but you also have the files as well, right? So all I did was I spaced this out by 40. And this is good for a working text. I'm fine with this font. I you know, if anything, I'll come back in and change it later, right? So we've done step 2. We've determined the colors and the type. Now we're going to start laying down the framework of our design, right? The framework of our design. Framework just means the basic shapes. So if you look at this picture, we have a few basic shapes going on. A bunch of rectangles, pretty much. We have the outline. We have the inner rectangle, the green one. We have another one where you know, because I put this in here, the blue, so you can read the title and the subtitle. So that's another rectangle, and then we have a really small one underneath it for the author name. So that's what we're going to be doing right now, is creating our framework, right, in Photoshop, which is not very hard to do. Okay, so we have our background down already. That's shape number 1. The next shape I'm going to be adding in is the outline around it. See? How do I do that? All I'm going to do is duplicate this background layer. So I'm going to do Control J on my keyboard, Control J, or I can come up here to Layer, Duplicate Layer, and I click OK. Boom. I'll press Control Alt Z to step back to show you the other way to do it. I want to have it selected. Control J. Boom. Right? Okay. So now I want a dark, like a gray outline. And again, I'll just cheat by stealing the color here because I already designed this. A bit of a TV magic, right? It's called border. Just copy. Let's see here. Okay. I just copied the color pretty much. I'll come back in here. Now the entire thing is going to go dark, and don't freak out. So paste. Okay. So all we want is an outline. We don't want the entire thing to be filled out. So what I'll do is I'll come up here to fill. The fill is what you're looking at right now. I'll turn that off. So it's going to go back to green. It's going to vanish, right? Or not. So what I'm going to do now is turn on the stroke. The stroke is the outline. So I'm going to do 30 for the stroke. There we go. 30 for the stroke. Let me show you what the stroke is. It's basically the outline. See, I'm increasing the stroke, and you can create some really cool designs. If I want a really like thick framed book, I can do that. But I just want 30 because I remember it was about 27, and it's 27 on this. But let's try 30. I may actually end up making this video a 2-part video because it looks like it might take a little while. But that's our outline, right? So I'm gonna name this. It's always good to name stuff because once you start getting to a point where you have a lot of layers, stuff tends to get out of hand. So I'm just gonna title this. You can do border, you can do outline. I'll do border. So if I were to save this right now, this would change. So let me show you. Control S, save. I'll come back here. This changed. See? This is going to eventually look like this. But currently it looks like this. But you can see it's starting to take shape, right? And that's how it works. What have we done so far? We put down the green background and an outline, and we've got our text on there. That's all we've done so far. Okay? Now I'm going to start adding in the other shapes. So this blue part right here, I'm going to add that in. I'm a fan of duplicating, right? I'm a fan of duplicating like already existing layers. So I'm going to press Control J again. Now I'm going to press Control T on my keyboard. Now keep in mind, this new layer I just duplicated is still green. Let's actually change it to the blue before we move on so you can see those changes taking effect. I'll copy this. All I'm doing is copy layer styles, which just means whatever fancy, funky stuff I've done to this layer, copy it so I can paste it on the other layer. Okay? Hopefully I haven't lost you guys yet. I'm really, conscious of, like, hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. Okay, right? The reason this is all blue is because it's covering, these are layers. So I want you to think of this as like this onion skins. These are all layers. So this text, the only reason you can see this text, it's visible, and the only reason you can see it is because it's above this blue. If I put it under the blue, it's literally under the blue, so you can't see it. And that's how Photoshop works, and most graphic design programs work. You're stacking different layers on top of each other, right? So currently, this blue is on top of this green. Now we want to resize this blue. It's too big. We want to get it to look like this, right? So all I'll do, I'm pressing Control T on my keyboard to bring up the scale tool. I'm pressing Alt, I'm holding down Alt to bring it in from both directions as I'm dragging inward to my left. Let me do it without Alt. It's only going to drag from the right side. Take a look. Right? Control Z to back up. I'm holding down Alt. It's gonna pull in from the left and the right. Let's take a look. You see? So I'm holding down Alt, and it's not gonna look exactly like this one. I can just copy the graphics, but I want to show you me designing it. But we'll get it pretty close. Hold down Alt. Should be about the right size. I'm not holding down Alt when I'm dragging from the bottom because then it's gonna make it too short. I'm only gonna just drag from the bottom normally, right? And I think we should just stop in the middle. That should be about right. I'm gonna press either I can press Enter on my keyboard or I can click this check here. That's what I'll do. Right? Now I want to align this. It's not perfectly in the middle on here. It's kind of offset to the left. All I'm gonna do, there are a few ways you can do this. The fastest way to do it is to hold down Shift on my keyboard. So if I don't hold down Shift, it'll drag every which way. I don't want that. I want it to stay straight. So Shift is going to keep it straight, right? And I'm going to just click down my left mouse button and drag towards the left just a few, this is a tad. Just like that. Just like that. Now we're starting to look like this. This one's a little thinner and longer, but it's fine. You know what? Let's bring it down a little bit. How far down does this one go? Let's do, okay, that should be good. Okay? And we have our blue. Next thing I'm going to do, name of the game, duplicate. I'm going to duplicate this shape again. Why? I'm creating this little by author thing here. Duplicate again. And I'm going to rename these, by the way. So, because these are all say background, because we're copying from the background. Instead of having it all say background, let's rename them. So this one says border. That's correctly named. Let's edit this one first. So I'll bring it down. All I'm doing is resizing it, and again, Control T on my keyboard. Bring it down to about this. I'm going to press Enter on my keyboard to save that. See, if I don't press Enter, it won't save, and it'll snap back to this size I just scaled it down from. Enter on my keyboard. Now you can't see it again because it's the same color as this, but if I do this, I'm holding down Shift on my keyboard and I'm pressing the down arrow a few times. Shift helps it go down, it moves it further than if I were to just press the down arrow. I'll show you what I mean in a second, but let me just show you. There's gonna be a space there. Boom. Now I'll press the down arrow a few times. Let's do it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I press the down arrow, it moves by 1 pixel. When I press Shift, I think it moves by either 5 or 10. So it jumps across the page a lot faster than if I were just doing this. If I were to do this, it moves a lot faster. That's why I'm holding Shift down as I'm moving. Again, what's our next step? Change the color, right? And change the title as well. Double click the text to change the title. We're going to rename this guy to, let's call him Byline Background. That's what the author thing is called, right? A byline, I'm pretty sure. Byline Background. This guy is called text background. You know, just something what's the word I'm looking for? Something intuitive, something that just makes sense. You know, text background. It's the background of the text, so you can read the text. Text background. Boom. So now when I look here, I know, okay, this is the background, this is the main background, this is the text background, this is the byline background, this is the border. As opposed to all of these saying background copy 1, background copy 2. Then I you know, because keep in mind, we only have maybe 8 to 10 layers here. You know, designs can get up to, like, you know, in the 50s of layers, like 50s or 60s. So you know, organization becomes very important. Kind of like how I organized this one here with everything, main title, subtitle, so I know exactly where to go, so I'm not wasting any time clicking around and, you know, not knowing what I'm doing, right? So now let's change the color of the byline background. I'll come in here and I'll cheat a little bit because it's already in here. Where am I going? Byline. Copy. Boom. Okay. I'll come in here, paste. Boom. Our design is starting to take shape. I'll click Control S. Again, it hasn't updated yet because I haven't saved. So this is the last time we saved this. I'll click Control S right now. Boom. It's starting to take shape right before our eyes. Before you know it, it'll look something like this, right? I think I'll wrap this part 1 of this video up right now. I'll you know, I don't want to hold you for an hour. I'll split it up into 2 parts, hopefully 2 parts, and I'll see you in the next video. So again, this is video number 6, part 1, designing your ebook graphics in Photoshop. By the way, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, my current support email is support@amodernmarketer.com. That is support@amodernmarketer.com. Shoot me an email. You know, this is one of the first products. I've been releasing products on the internet for some time, but this is one of the first serious ones I've done under the A Modern Marketer brand. I do really appreciate your feedback. If I'm talking too fast, please let me know. If I'm moving too fast, please let me know. If you're confused about something, please let me know. I'm doing this for you guys. You know, I do want to teach internet marketers how to become better graphic designers with this specific product. So support@amodernmarketer.com, or you can just shoot me an email at amodernmarketer@gmail.com. That's amodernmarketer@gmail.com. Wait, the support desk, I think I just gave you the wrong email. For all intents and purposes, let's use, because I'm currently building my website and deleting old emails and building new ones under this brand. So currently, feel free to shoot me an email at amodernmarketer@gmail.com. I'm going to have a support desk up soon, but my website is still under construction. So as of, you know, at the time of launching this video, shoot me an email at amodernmarketer@gmail.com. I'd be more than happy to help you out with any of your graphic design problems. Again, this is part 1 of video number 6. I will see you in part 2, where we get this to look like this. All right, not as hard as it seems. Okay, so awesome. See you in the next video. Take care, guys.